Good morning, everyone. This is State Climatologist Gary McManus with the Mesonet Weather Report. Well, it's been boring, very odd for our weather lately, and sometimes boring is bad also because we do have parts of the state that still need some pretty good rains. Hopefully we're getting some of that this weekend. Unfortunately, it comes on Easter weekend, but when we need rain, we got to have it, okay? So we did see some changes in the drought monitor, just not here in Oklahoma. Let's take a look at the national map and see where we are. When we take a look at the country as a whole, we do see that drought up and down the central plains from Oklahoma, Texas, up into all the way to North Dakota, but then down into the desert southwest. So that's the core of the worst drought in the country right now. We do have some along the East Coast and down into Florida, but not quite what we've seen over here in the western and central parts of the United States. So there is still drought outside of Oklahoma, believe it or not. Now, we didn't have any changes in Oklahoma, but we did see some increase in drought across our region. So Colorado, Kansas, Nebraska, down into Texas. Very few, removals of drought in the country. So hopefully that changes as we get into next week. I wanted to go back and cover a little bit of those March winds. Some people have asked about this. We did find that March 2025 was the windiest, at least in the Mesonet data, since 2010. So, we did have that huge day, the windiest day on record for the Oklahoma Mesonet dating back to 1994. And that was that horrible March 14th day. But it was pretty windy through the whole month. And we also see that in the maximum wind speeds where we tied with 2014 for the windiest day for those, those highest wind speeds each day. So when you average those out over the month, any way you want to put it, March 2025, one of the windiest that we've seen in the last 15 years on the Oklahoma Mesonet. Now let's talk about something that we haven't had a lot of, and that's rainfall. Look at this 10-day rainfall map. We have a few hundredths here and there, a few echo returns from the radar estimated values over in eastern Oklahoma, but by and large, over the last 10, 14 days, not much rainfall at all, unfortunately. And that's showing up on the consecutive days with less than a quarter inch of rainfall map from the Mesonet. We're going on another little bit of a dry spell. We certainly don't want to see that. Hopefully we end that this weekend. But you see up in northwest Oklahoma, that's where we really need that rainfall, where they're going, close to 50 days now without at least a quarter inch of rain. Let's take a look at the 16-inch plant available soil moisture. This is sort of a fire indicator. We can see out across far western Oklahoma, up in north central Oklahoma, still areas where that soil moisture indicates we could have big fires if we do get some ignition. So areas to be careful of. Okay, let's go looking out into the future. Let's look for next week. We do see, at least for temperatures, it does look like it's going to be warm as we get into the end of April. So this is the Climate Prediction Center's outlook for temperature, and we see increased odds of above normal temperatures, especially across the eastern third or so of the state. Now here's probably the best map. We see greatly increased odds of above normal precipitation across much of Oklahoma, and then, moderately increased odds for the far western and northwestern parts of the state. So that's really good news. And keep in mind, when we're talking about the end of April, early May, if we do see above normal precipitation, that's right in the sweet spot of our rainy season. So above normal precipitation then means some pretty good amounts, hopefully. Okay, I think we've determined that boring is good and it's also bad. So whatever we get, let's just hope it's something that helps us out. That's it for this time. We'll see you next time on the Mesonet Weather Report.